There we go. Oops, forgot my button. So I record everything. One, it's to save me because I mess up a lot. Oh, I'll put it up here. I don't mess up that much, and it's not to save me. And some stuffs I have to wipe out because I'll have to tell you that I actually didn't say it because I get in trouble. Anyway, I do it for kids that are absent, and I do it for you that if you want to go back through a lesson for some reason or another. So pretty much, I'll do a dog and pony show, and then I'll just hit record. So the two kids that are absent today, they'll be able to. I just post it on Google Classroom and watch it at half the speed, or don't watch it at all, or I don't care. Okay with all that? So don't ask stupid questions because it's on the internet. I'm kidding. So we are in AP Pre-Cal. I'll go over a lot of stuff like what you should expect this year. I'm going to have to guess that this is your first AP math class. So, I mean, it's the first one we offer. So that I get that opportunity to teach you at least Pre-Cal. Pre-Cal is one of my favorite subjects to teach. I also teach AP Stats. So I have 4 classes of AP Stats, and then you guys are my singleton. So you're the only one I have. So you're my first try at it, but you're also my last try at it. I taught it 2 years ago, the first year for AP Pre-Cal. AP Pre-Cal's only been around 3 years. So I taught it the very first year. Then last year, my stats classes filled up. So I had all 4 stats classes. I used to coach girls basketball too, and I don't do that anymore. So I picked up a 5th class. So you were the class I picked up. Yay. So you guys are flat, bottom line, unlucky. But it is what it is. Okay. Hinkabine. How's brother doing? Is he? Is he already in school? On Monday? Is sis done, or is she going to be a senior? But your sister? Both of them. Jocelyn. She's the one that went to A&M, right? Is she the one that went to A&M? Bless her heart. What's Coop doing? Not much. So I've been around for a while. All right. So welcome to AP Pre-Cal. I'll abbreviate this a lot of times APPC. So if you ever see something, I don't just, what the heck, that AP Pre-Cal? I'm not for sure if Pre-Cal is supposed to be one word or 2 words or have a height. I don't know. The books all do it differently, so I just do PC. It says I'm looking forward to being your teacher this year, but I think I just have to say that. And it says I plan and will do whatever I can to make this a great year for you in math. And I don't know if it's going to be a great year for you in math, but I plan to do what I can to help make it a great year for you. Okay? Some of you may not be math people, so I can't make it that exciting for you, but here we are. About me, and then we're going to go to the course description because you don't care about me. No, I'll tell you a little bit about me, a little bit, I guess. So this is my 29th year of teaching. So I've been around a while now. I'm starting to be the old guy on the block. I've been in Bentonville since '01. So I taught 4 years before I came here. I graduated high school. I went to Arkansas Tech University. I graduated with a mathematics degree. So that's my degrees. My degree's in mathematics. I actually don't have a teaching degree. All I have is a mathematics degree. So I know how to do math. I just can't teach it according to the law. But here I am, 29 years later. After college, I actually went in the military for 4 years. I was in the United States Navy. I can't really tell you what I did, but I can tell you I copied Morse code and I intercepted signals. I guess I can tell you that. I just can't tell you what it said. I was a cryptologist. Was my they broke codes and all kinds of. It sounds a whole lot cooler than it was, but that's what I did. Spent 6 months in Boston learning Morse code. I spent 6 months in Pensacola learning all the other signals that I've intercepted. Morse code's about gone now because of all the electronics. And then I went to Okinawa, Japan for 3 years. And then I came home and was just doing odds and end jobs. And my dad's best friend was a principal, and he had a teacher quit 2 days before school started. And he asked me if I wanted to teach, and I said no. And 29 years later, here I am, or 28 years later, I guess. So here I am. I've taught everything from 7th grade pre-algebra to calculus. When I first came to Bentonville, I actually was at Lincoln for 2 years, I think. I taught pre-algebra and algebra 1 and geometry. And then they moved me up to the high school where I taught pre-calculus and calculus. And then a couple years after that, I picked up the stats. So I've been teaching stats since 2008. And then odds and whatever needed filled, because stats didn't fill up my schedule. So whatever was extra. Most of the time it was algebra 2 or pre-cal. Most of the time. Pre-cal I like a whole lot better than algebra 2. Pre-cal is one, I told y'all, is one of my favorites. I love the trig. You're going to see me nerd out when we get to trig. Okay. This is old. So I posted this for you guys already, but I'll go over it best I can. It's posted. I don't print off a whole lot. Whoops, I don't want that. What did I want? Where's Zoom? View. Oh, there it is. That 100%. Fit. There we go. Me, my email, Mayer. If you ever get Mayer, not Mayor, Mayer. Although it sounds like Mayor, but it's Mayer. You don't care about the phone number, room number. Best way to contact me is if you need to, for some reason or another, to email me right now. There's that new thing that's coming out, but I'm trying to figure it out. Or you could do Google Classroom too, I guess. But if you do Google Classroom, everybody sees it. So that's probably the best way. Pre-cal is designed to mirror a first semester college pre-cal course. So that's one thing I think you need to know. If you took pre-cal in college, this class is to mirror that. The only difference is we do it in a year. They do it in a semester. So that's a benefit to you because we go a whole lot slower. Plus you have a teacher that somewhat cares about you, somewhat. And you also have a teacher that can speak English. That may or may not happen in college. Pre-cal, you're still pretty safe normally. This class provides a strong foundation in college algebra, trigonometry, and additional topics that will prepare students for higher level mathematics, i.e. calculus. Pre-calculus, we're trying to get you ready for calculus. That's my goal. That's my goal. I don't want somebody for you guys to take calculus next year and say, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea how to do that. I don't want that to happen. So that's my goal, okay? We explore function types. Most of everything we do, seriously, most everything we do is going to be Algebra 2, especially the beginning part of the semester, until we get to trig. Trig's going to be new for you guys, but Algebra 2, most everything. You know how to do it. We got to apply it. Polynomials, you should know about polynomials. It has all those curves and things like that. Well, we're going to find maxes and mins, and we're going to talk about how it's going uphill and downhill and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to talk about why. We do some more word problems. I don't call it word problems, but I guess it's a word problem, whatever. Application, polynomials, rational functions, exponential, logarithmic, and then trigonomic, polar, parametric, vector valued, implicitly defined, linear transformation using matrices. Emphasis is placed on procedural fluency, multiple representations, verbally, mathematically, visually, and modeling. Students engage with content, there it is, graphically, numerically, analytically, and verbally. So when I give you any type of a function or equation, we call them functions a lot more than equations, but functions, you should be able to recognize what it looks like, about, not exactly, but about what it looks like, what it does, what it can do, and you should be able to do it somewhat mathematically, verbally, analytically, and numerically. Somewhat. Some things we can't do in pre-cal, you have to learn that in calculus. Some things we have to use calculators for that calculus will teach you how to do mathematically. Just kind of understand all that. That probably happened in Algebra 2 also. So prereqs, before you take this class, you better have linear, you better understand linear and quadratic functions. You better know those backwards and forwards. And if you don't know linear by now, you're way in the wrong class, right? Linear is just a line, slope, y-intercepts. You better understand all that stuff, right? Quadratics, you should understand quadratics, how to factor, how to find the max, min, well, vertex, how about that? Find the vertex, know if it opens up, know if it opens down, know if it's shifted left, right, all that kind of stuff. We'll talk about it a little bit, but that's the stuff you should know. You should have got that from Algebra 2. Algebraic manipulations, solving equations, and solving inequalities. Inequalities you haven't done. So we'll have to go over that. I don't think y'all solved inequalities. It's my guess. You may have. They may do a better job than previous. Polynomial functions, that's the one with all the curves and maxes and mins and how many turns does it have, or how many turns could it have, how many intercepts could it have. Polynomials, okay? That's where you have the degree and the number of terms, right? Opens up, or your end behaviors, okay? Polynomials. Adding them, subtracting them, that's really, really easy. Multiplying them, as long as they're binomials, it's pretty easy, but you start getting to trinomials, that starts getting pretty hard. Factoring them is huge. You got to know how to factor the trinomials, and then using the quadratic formula, okay? Solving right triangle problems. This is coming from geometry. The right triangles, I thought I put that. I meant to put especially the 30, 60, 90s and your 45, 45, 90s. If you guys can remember those rules, you're going to be way ahead for trig. If you can remember the 30, 60, 90, and the 45, 45, 90, you're going to be way ahead in trig. We'll review that before we get there. But solving systems of equations, and it says 2 and 3 variables. I don't think we'll do 3 variables, but 2 variables, right? You got 2 equations with 2 unknowns. 2 equations, 2 unknowns. You used to be able to solve them algebraically, graphically, where they intersect if it's linear. Now we're going to up that to where we might have a quadratic and a line, so they'll intersect twice. Okay, that we're going to up the game a little bit on that. We may have a quadratic and another quadratic. We may have a quadratic and a quadratic that don't ever touch. Okay, we may have a circle and a line. They touch twice. You may have a circle and a quadratic that might touch 3 times. Yeah. So that's kind of what they're talking about there. You should be familiar with exponential functions and rules for exponents. And I know you guys went over that, but it says familiar. So notice the difference, right? This is proficient familiar, right? You should understand it a little bit, but maybe not know it to where you know every single thing about it, but at least be familiar with it, because that way when we talk about it, you say, oh yeah, maybe I have that, or oh, now we're seeing where we're going with that, okay? So exponential functions and rules for exponents. Radical functions, right? Radicals. Know where it's defined and where it's not defined, right? The domain of these. So we're going to talk about the domain a lot. Piecewise functions. That's where you basically have, if x is this value, then it's this function. If it's this value, then it's this function, right? But it's function, so x can't be 2 things. So you can't have a 1 and a 1 here. So anyway, piecewise functions. And then communicating and reasoning among graphical, numerical, analytic, and verbal. And you're going to hear me say those words quite a bit this year, okay? All right, so what do you need for this classroom? You got to have a Chromebook. You got to have a Chromebook. There is no book for AP Pre-Cal. There's a bunch of books for Pre-Cal, but there's none for AP Pre-Cal, and there is a difference, right? If there wasn't a difference, they wouldn't put that AP in front of it. So there's a difference. We got to have your Chromebook, okay? And it has to be a Chromebook. It cannot be your personal computer. It cannot not be an Ignite computer. It's got to be a Chromebook, okay? Because of test taking. Graphing calculator is Used to, it was flat out required. You can kind of get by with it now with Desmos. So they allow Desmos on the AP exam. And I think Desmos is a whole lot easier to work than your graphing calculator. So that's new to me. 2 years ago, they didn't allow Desmos when I taught it. Last year, they started allowing it, so it kind of got integrated. I'm not a Desmos type guy because I just use it when it becomes real easy. But a graphing calculator, so I'll go back between both. If you feel more comfortable with the graphing calculator, use it. If you feel more comfortable with Desmos, use it. I think you'll find that Desmos is going to be easier. It's not a complete Desmos like you probably are used to seeing. Anyway, you'll see it. But graphing calculator is highly recommended because at some time, there may be some point in your life you don't have either in your back pocket, but just kind of recognize that, okay? I'll teach a lot of the graphing calculator, but we'll also do it in Desmos. And then you got to have some type of paper and you got to have some type of writing utensil. You really don't have to have much paper. Most everything I'm going to give you. Most everything's worksheets. Again, it's because we don't have a book. We don't have a book. We just took all the important stuff out of the book and just made worksheets from it. I don't know if it was the best way, but that's what we did. All right, so what do I expect from you guys that you guys can control? Be on time, best you can. I know it's 0 hour. I know there are going to be some issues. Here's what I tell you. I don't want you getting here so fast that where you can have an accident. I don't want you rushing so bad to where you possibly could have an accident. So just try to get here on time. That's all I ask. Okay? I know sometimes traffic's backed up for some reason or another, whatever. Just try to get here on time. That's what I expect. Be respectful to everyone, including me. If you're going to say something bad about me, wait till you go outside. If I say something bad about you, I'll probably do it in class. Let me pre-apologize. I'm sorry. If you're going to ask a dumb question, I will probably point that out. But don't let you do that. Okay. We've talked about this, or I'm sure you heard all about this yesterday, but no personal electronic devices whatsoever, right? No phones, no earbuds, no, what else is there? That's it. iPads, anything you can Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. None. Let me rephrase that, except your computer, school computer. Work productively with others. One of the most valuable skills you're going to develop, especially in this class, those of you that took Algebra 2, you probably, as you progress in your mathematics, peer tutoring is the best thing you possibly could do. No doubt. No doubt. How I explain it's going to be different than how someone else might explain it. And if you can explain it, you're going to start understanding it a whole lot better. And if you can hear it from my perspective and you can hear it from a student's perspective, you're going to start understanding it better. Okay? So, work productively with others. I don't need to talk about consequences. We don't ever have issue. There's a cell phone. There's the Act 11 or 122. It's not Bentonville High. It's the entire state of Arkansas. It's a law. Last year prohibits the use of personal electronic devices during the school day. Our school day is defined from 7 to 4. So if you get here before 7, you can use it all you want to, but at 7 o'clock, they got to be put away. And at the end of school at 4 o'clock. And here's my spiel on the end of school. Please be careful when you guys get to your cars and you're leaving, and don't try to find everything that you missed all day while you're trying to drive. Please. Just wait or get out of here and then do it. I'm just as bad as anybody else, but so I just sit around for 30 more minutes and I catch up all day. If you need more help, that's a big deal, right? At some point, you're going to start struggling. If you need more help, first, see me. Hey, I'm struggling. What can I do? Okay? Classmates are huge. You've got students that are in other classes, right? And other teachers. There are several that can do pre-cal. Ms. Mims, utilize Khan Academy and AP Classroom. I don't tell you about Khan Academy. I don't use Khan Academy. I say that. I haven't ever. But it's there. There is a AP Pre-Cal Khan Academy. lessons. You can sign up for it. It's all free. We will use AP Classroom in class sometimes. If you guys are familiar with AP Classroom, it'll show videos, it'll do how-tos, it'll give you extra problems. If there's ever anything that you can't see on it, let me know and I'll just assign it. I try to assign everything, and I don't make anything do, but I just try to assign everything because some of you guys might want extra help. Okay, so at AP Classroom. There's many online resources. I met a guy this summer. I go to AP grading, so I grade AP tests. And so when I was grading AP tests, I met a guy who also does, he teaches stats and pre-cal, and he has all kinds of videos out there. And so I asked him if I could share them. He said, absolutely. He said, can I share yours? I said, no, you don't want mine. I went ahead and let him, but all lessons are available on YouTube. All lessons that we do in class are available on YouTube. You can watch it anytime. If you ever miss it, it's actually live. So if you got up and watched it, you could see it. However, nobody's going to do that. Instructor tutoring. I'm available during flex. I can meet before school. Yes, I get here before 7:15. This morning, I think I got here at 5:45. I just don't sleep much. Or after school, within reason. Because I do have 0 hour. I don't stay a whole lot after 4. Don't stay a whole lot after 3. But again, communicate with me, guys. Communicate. Talk to me, send me an email, whatever you got to do. Let me know. All right, so grading procedures. Here we go on this. Pretty much everything we do in here is an EOL. I don't think I've put a whole lot of practice grades in there. Okay, if I do put a practice grade in there, let me rephrase that. This class, I think we do some practice grades. Hello. Sorry. I thought that thing would be lit up, but it's not. Here's my camera. So this is what it looks like, right? Here I am right up here, and then everything I do on the board is on a big screen. Not that you care. Oops, I don't want that. I want this. Okay, grades. So again, pretty much everything we do. We'll do some progress checks on AP Classroom. I don't make those a grade. Sometimes I'll put them in the grade book as a practice, just so I'm but most time if I put them in practice, most time I hide it so you can't see it. It's just for me to know how you did on it. I'm trying to see if there's a correlation between how you did on it and how you did on the test. Sometimes. We try to make your tests and homework, we try to make this somewhere between 70 and 80% of your grade, and this would now be 30 to 20% of your grade. Okay, that's what we try to do. In other words, this is pretty much gimme points. If you try your homework and just put some effort into it and looks like it, you faked it, whatever else, you're going to get full points. I don't care if it's right. I don't care if it's wrong. I don't care. I just want it to be look like you tried to do it. Fair enough with what I'm saying on homework? Most answers are going to be given to you for everything anyway, unless if I'm falling behind and I just can't get them out there to you. You guys are 0A, so you're like my first try at it, right? So Monday mornings, I might give you something that I may have not done yet. Possible, just kind of understand that. But answers should be out there for pretty much everything. So I don't care that you just have answers. You better not have just answers, right? It's going to take some work to get there. Sometimes it's just answers, but it's going to take, just fake it. Whatever you got to do, you're going to get your homework points. I think we only have it worth like 3 points. Now, 3 times 7 ends up being 21 points out of the 100. So you'll kind of follow what I'm saying. So if you do it and turn it in when you're supposed to, you're going to get 3 points. If you do it and do it when you're supposed to and turn it in when you're supposed to, most of the time it's going to be the very next class period, you're going to get your 3 points. Just fake it. Don't care. Fake it. Because guess what? If you don't do well here, if you don't understand it, that's on you. And if it's on you, you're not going to do well on a test. Bottom line. It just can't happen. I wish I wouldn't even assign homework if I didn't have to. When you get to college, they don't care if you do any homework. You'll get 4 tests most of the time. 4 tests. You get I don't know, what do you call it? A quarter and a mid, and then another quarter and a final. 4 tests. That's what you'll get. Most classes. So I don't care if you do any homework. I wish I was kind of that way, but I try to help you out because the homework helps you out. So turn it in when you're supposed to, you're going to get 3. If you don't turn it in when you're supposed to, but you still turn it in, I'll give you 2. And if you do it half-butted, like you do 1 problem or you do just a couple problems, it doesn't look very good, I'm going to give you 1. If you don't do anything, you're going to get a 0. Okay? You get a 0. And at the end of the semester, if you have some zeros, we have to take the final. Right? That's the rule. You have to take the final. You don't have to take the final for this class. You can be exempt from this class, first semester and second semester. But if you got a 0, you got to take it. Okay? Exam and quiz grades, no, random cumulative reviews, quizzes, exams can be given throughout the year, yada, 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 yada. So in the grade book, you could see one of 3 or 4 things. I'm pretty good at putting like what your assignment is in there pretty quick. So if we assign 1.2, I'll put 1.2 up there and probably put worksheet. And then there might be another 1.2, I'll put 1.2b, whatever. I'm pretty good at putting that in there. I'm not real good at grading it so quick, just to be honest. So if it's blank, that means I haven't graded it. It means I haven't graded it. If there's something in there, that means I graded it. And the only thing it could be is a 3, a 2, a 1. I won't put a 0. I'll put an N, means you didn't turn it in. Or I'll put a Z, means you didn't turn it in and I'm not taking it. And I don't think there'll ever be an X. However, there could be a time when it's an X, and the X means a 0 out of 0. That exempts you. Blank doesn't count against the student. So when I have the zeros up there, it doesn't hurt your grade. Or sorry, when I have the blanks up there, it doesn't hurt your grade. Okay, so if you have blank, 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 you still have, and you got a 3, blank, 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 you got 100 in class. Okay. It comes up. Practice won't be counted anything. So if you ever see practice, again, mostly that's for me. I'll do it at the beginning to make sure to see if you're in AP Classroom, to see that you're on. I don't care that you're on Google Classroom. You'll be on Google Classroom, but I want to make sure that you're on AP Classroom. I'll put some things in there for practice. Just again, they're for me to know. Most time I hide them from you. And then learning habits. I don't know if you've ever noticed that I have to do these 2 or 3 times a year. Okay, learning habits. Students will receive feedback on achievement of learning habits. There's 2 of them. Basically, how hard do you work and how do you act in class? Those are basically the 2. I forget what they're officially called. Additional grading information. So this is what's really important for you guys. And it's probably different than you've had in any other class. But guys, this is an AP class. And it's a college class, basically. I teach it almost like a college class, except, again, I somewhat care. But I owe it to you to get to a certain point because I want to review before you take this big AP test. And so I owe it to you to get done by this certain date. So we start at the calendar and start at that way and work backwards. And so we have certain things due at certain times throughout the entire year. And we've done the entire year. And those dates are not going to change. Rather you're here, rather we're here for snow. If we're gone for snow, we're still going to have dates not change. There's some leeway in some of this stuff, but do understand that. Especially this first semester, because we're not going to miss for anything. You might. I don't care. Don't care. If you miss, I don't care. The assignment's still due when it's due. You have to be able to keep up. If you let assignment build up, you're going to be behind. There's no doubt. You cannot succeed in this class by letting assignments build up because you're always working behind. And if you're working behind, you're not keeping up. Right? I'm not going to overwhelm you with a whole lot of work. I mean, it's going to be work, but it's not going to be like hours and hours and hours of work. Okay? So we're going to expect you to keep it up. We have a calendar, and I've already posted it. You'll be able to see it. Calendar. Boom. And you have your own calendar because I only have 8 days. So that's what it looks like. Get to know you. I won't get to know you. You'll get to know me. Syllabus 1.1. I didn't put anything else other than 1.1. What is 1.1? You'll find out. It'd be easy. 1.2, 1.3. 1.3, 1.4. Kind of see how there's a little bit of leeway in there. But you know most of this stuff already, so I'm not spending the day per lesson. We're not meeting here. We meet here. Yay. Next semester, or sorry, next month. No school. Test. Pretty quick. Come up with one pretty quick. Boom, boom, boom. Right? I stopped. I didn't make any little boxes. Okay? You can, if you want to know what we're doing in April, there it is, April. Okay? Good enough? So what I'm saying that is, if you're absent, you better watch the video and learn how to do it and fake the homework. Somehow or another, try it. I know it's going to be tough for you not being in class, but you better fake it. Fake it and turn it in. Okay? Most of the time I turn them in on Google Classroom. So you'll scan it, turn it in on Google Classroom, and that way I have a copy of it, plus when you turn it in. Hit me.
How many units?
Okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It doesn't sound near as bad as it is, but okay. So if let's say next week, Monday, you're absent on Monday. Well, 1.2, 1.3, I won't have them both due. I'm not going to, don't worry about it. 1.2 is due Wednesday. You're absent Monday. If you don't turn in 1.2, you're late. But I don't care. I don't care that you weren't here. Again, we got to go on. You got to be in class in order to understand this stuff. That there's no doubt that missing this class is going to be the most detrimental thing you can do to your grade. Okay? So it doesn't matter when you're absent or anything else. It doesn't change due dates. So missing class for any reason, including illness, appointments, school business, does not change due dates or test schedules. If the assignment is not turned in on the due date, it's considered late. Now, guys, I put that in here, but do understand that I'm a little leeway on that, right? If you're sick for a couple of days, I get it. The last thing on your mind is to do your dang pre-cal, okay? Just the big thing I wanted to know is communication. Just talk to me. Hey, I don't get this at all. Okay, get it later. I would rather you truthfully communicate with me, turn it in late and it be quality work, than you to turn it in on time and be crappy work. Y'all follow what I'm saying on that, right? I would much rather you do that. So if you communicate with me and let me know, hey, I'll let it slide. I'll give you your full points. I'm not trying to punish you for not doing it on time. Again, I would rather you turning in late with quality work than on time with crappy work. I don't know, can I see that? Yeah, crappy work. I can say crappy. Okay? Y'all okay with all that stuff? Again, communicate. Now, if you communicate and it happens and it happens, it happens, it happens, start to become a you problem. Okay? So, here's the big one. It's bold printed. It's bold printed. This is a hard no. This is not happening in this classroom. No assignment for that unit will be accepted after that exam. So we take an exam on Wednesday. I'm not taking anything after the test for that previous unit or anything. That's a hard deadline. So we call it soft deadlines and hard deadlines. Soft deadline is due Wednesday. If you don't do it Wednesday and you turn it in Friday, okay. I might ding you, I may not ding you. Depends on how consistent it is with you. If it's the first time you've done it, I'm probably not going to do anything. I'm still probably going to give you full points. Okay? I'm not dinging you. I don't want to ding you for being late. I will, but I probably won't. Test is whatever, the 2 weeks later. I'm not taking it. The test is a hard deadline, and that's non-negotiable. I don't care what your excuse is. Okay? That's a non-negotiable. All work must be justified in order to earn points. And what I mean by justified is if it takes me some work, I would have to expect it takes you some work. If I can do it with no work shown, some of you might be able to do it with no work shown. So that's what I mean by justified. Okay? How much work? Whatever I would expect. That's where you're going to fake it. Okay? If it takes me 3 lines, I would think it would have to take you at least 3 lines. If I can do it in 2 lines, I would think the max you could do it is 2 lines. Y'all okay with all that stuff, right? Because AP is a timed exam, I want to try to somewhat train you in that same timed exam. We've done it for 2 years now. We haven't, but the other teachers have. They know timing and how long it should take you on exams, okay? So these quizzes and exams will follow that same timing. It must be completed in 1 sitting. There is no, can I finish this later? Nope. You've seen it. You got to finish it. Okay? AP's that way. So this class is that way. When the bell rings, we turn it in. When the bell rings, we turn it in. There's no finishing it later unless you have some crazy circumstance. You drove to school, you got behind somebody, you got here 15, 20 minutes late. We can talk about that kind of stuff. Okay? Now, yes, it's on you, but if it's out of your realm is why you're late, but you don't want to miss the test because you want to show up test day. Bless you. That'll show up in a second too, but you'll want to not miss test day. So all that stuff, again, just communicate with me. Communicate with me. If the student, listen, this is probably different than probably any other classes. If a student does not take the unit exam on the assigned date, that student will not be eligible for any curve on that exam. If you do not take it on the test day, you will lose or forfeit your opportunity for a curve because you're taking a different test, and your different test, some take it, some don't. I can't judge off a curve on it, right? The curve is off of how everybody does. And if everybody does it, then I can judge it. And if only 1 or 2 take the makeup, I can't judge it. So they don't get the curve. First of all, you got more time. Second of all, I don't know, you talk to everybody else what's on the test, although you're getting a different test, so it doesn't really matter. Okay with all that? So you got to take it on the test day. Bottom line, that happens in college. You don't take it on test day, they're going to make it real easy. They're just going to put a 0 in. I don't put a 0, but you don't get the curve. And you'll want the curve because these are not easy tests. Okay, you're not expected to get a 90% on the AP exam to get a 5. So why should I expect you to get 90% to get an A? You're not expected to. You're not expected to get 80% to sometimes to get a 5. And we're not going to go quite that low because it's a little bit different type testing. But understand there is a curve on these tests. Okay, there is a curve. Almost have to. If not, everybody's going to fail. I can't have that. Right, that looks bad on me. So there is going to be a curve, but you don't take it on test day, you're going to forfeit that curve. I got school business. I'm not going to be here that day. Sorry. You know you're going to have school business. Take it early. You can take it early, or you guys, so you're 0, so you have A day. As long as you talk to me beforehand, if you take it like the flex the next day, or you after school, something like that, just talk to me, right? Talk to me. I'm not going to let you go a whole lot later, but we can go a little bit later or a little bit before. Again, it's school business. You know you're going to be gone. It's not going to be a secret. You know you're going to be gone. We always have at least 1 day of review. So we're done with the chapter here. So we kind of have all that time to really take it. And school business will hurt you a little bit, but I think it's good to have to go out and do things too. So I don't want to punish you that much, but however, you have to that's where planning becomes important too. And I think that's a life skill. I think that's a life skill. Like I know for a fact in the end of October, I'm going to be sick. I already know that because I'm planning for it. So when you know these things are going to happen, I'm already planning for the substitute on that day because I know I'm going to be sick. I do statistics. I can predict these things. I hadn't been sick my whole life, but I've been sick. Every time I've been sick, I've planned for it. Okay. Y'all okay with a test day on exam day? And again, it's the communication, guys. I don't want to assign a test on Wednesday and only have 6 kids here because I'm not ready. No, you're ready. You're ready. Or if you're not ready, then when you do take it, you're not going to get the curve. Okay? And again, if something happens, hey, I got a dentist appointment that day, I'm going to be late. Okay, come in late. I'll let you stay later, or come in late and I'll give you part of it. I'll give you the multiple choice, or I'll give you the calculator portion. And then you can come in some other time and I'll give you the non-calculator portion. Something like that, okay? If you've seen it, you got to finish it. If you've seen it, you got to finish it. I can't let you look at it and say, can I come back later? And no, that's a disadvantage to everybody else. So, all right. If you have any extenuating circumstances, you feel warrant taking the exam later than the scheduled date, you need to discuss this prior to exam day, not on exam day. It better be prior to it. And again, the extenuating circumstances are, I've been sick for the last week and a half. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, we'll work with you. I don't know how. You're going to be in trouble, but we'll figure it out. But again, we got all this stuff online. If you're at home, you'll be able to at least watch it. There's no extra credit in Bentonville schools, so you're not given, there's no chance for, can I do this for extra? No, there's no such thing as extra credit. Okay, no such thing as extra credit. There's no retests on the unit exams. AP test is only given one time. You take it and you get your score on it. I have to teach you to be prepared the first time. So the unit tests is a one trial deal, no retests. Okay, quizzes, retest. Homework, homework is what it is. I guess that's it. We can redo quizzes. They're not worth a whole lot of points, but we can redo quizzes. Because again, I think quizzes help you get prepared for the test. So if you don't like what you've done here, I want you to get prepared for the test. If you're not prepared for the test, there's nothing irks me more in the world than when a kid gets ready to turn his test in and says, when's the retest? Thinking, so I don't even grade this one? Y'all see what I'm saying, right? If you're not prepared, that's on you. So no retest on quiz or on tests, right? You get a curve, you get retests, and you get all of these homework. You get quite a few points before the 100 points. So just make sure you're prepared by it, okay? It's worked really well the last 2 years. It's worked well for me since 2008. The 1 year I gave retest in stats, I don't do retest in stats either. The 1 year I did was one of the worst years of scoring. They scored the worst on the AP test than they ever did. So retests to me don't work statistically. They may help your grade. I don't think they help your knowledge. And that's what I care about. However, it does say this too. The final can show your knowledge of the material. So at the end of the semester, you decide to take the final, take it. If it shows that you understand the entire semester, that has, can I say, more weight on it than the actual points? Y'all follow what I'm saying? Okay. I mean, the points may not be enough to boost you or drop you or whatever else, but if it shows you really understand the entire semester, it does have some merit to it. Okay. Does it have enough? Yeah, I don't know. But just kind of do understand that. So that's kind of like a retesting opportunity. It's just not written in stone. Academic honesty, guys, I'm huge on this. I've got to know what you know. You need to know what you know. I don't care what your buddy knows. Y'all can talk together and do all that kind of stuff. That's fine. That's different. But collaboration and discussion about concepts and problems is encouraged. In addition to group study sessions, all that stuff's encouraged. However, it's important not to lose sight of integrity and honesty. Students may have resources to get appropriate help. Tutorial sessions, class notes, textbook, and the use of online resources. Students are to do your own work, both in class and out of class. That is my expectation, and that's on any assignment. Whether it be a quiz, whether it be a project, whether it be a test, I don't care. Maintain your academic integrity. This is one of my biggest things, guys. Biggest things. I can fix it if you don't know what you're doing. I can't fix cheating. I can't fix it. If you're a cheater, you're a cheater. Bottom line, can't fix it. I don't know, I can fix that. There's a difference. Y'all okay with what I'm saying on that? And you know the difference between cheating and working together. Working together is not cheating. Cheating is, let me see your homework. That's cheating. You are not helping yourself whatsoever. If those 3 points are that freaking important to you, just let me know and I'll give you 3 points. You follow what I'm saying, right? I don't want you to cheat. This means not doing things such as, but not limited to, copying homework, using photo math to complete problems, using AI to complete problems. Does it say using AI to help you? No, it's there. Use it to help you. Don't use it to how do you do this problem or what is the answer, right? This means talking to other students in other sections about was or was not on the test. That's going to hurt you worse than you guys are 0A. Most time you're going to be the first cats that take the test. I don't think you should go out and tell everybody else what's on the test. Why? Because it's curved. And it's not curved to this class, it's curved to all of them. So if you really want to be sneaky, tell them what's not on the test, that's on the test, right? Let them do worse than what you're going to do. That will help you. Y'all okay with what I'm saying, right? Okay, I'm about done with this. There is more learning than a grade. Your grade is meant to reflect the mastery of your material, not someone else's. And again, I'm pretty loose on a lot of things, but that one right there, I don't have a lot of compassion for. I do put the caveat on this syllabus is subject to change. Changes to this syllabus may be applied at any point throughout the year. An announcement will be made in Google Classroom as well as in class. So I put that little caveat on there because, again, I am somewhat, this is only the 3rd year for this class. It's only the 2nd year for me to teach it, AP, pre-cal. I taught pre-cal 10, 12, 15 times, I don't know, a bunch. So we're still kind of winging it a little bit on AP, but it's pretty much good. Pass rate for the AP test is stupid high for Bentonville High School. And I mean stupid high, like we're talking 94%. It's stupid high. Miss Mims had 100%. The year I taught it, the 2 classes, one class was 100% and the other class was 96%. Stupid high. So work with me this year, unless if they end up changing this test more than I think they're going to, you're going to do all right on it. Okay? Always keep that in mind. Question earlier, how many units are there in AP Pre-Cal? There's 4. There's 4. Only 3 are tested. So guess what happens to the 4th one? We don't teach it. We do somewhat after the AP test. We'll pick out a couple things that are pretty important that you need to know for calculus, whether it be AB or BC. We don't know exactly what we're going to get on this. We put one of these somewhere too. So we try to get some of this in there, but I'll for sure let you know if it's tested or if it's not tested. Okay with all that? So 3 units, 3 units. Sections go from 1 to 13 or 14, 15. So we do a test somewhere around 1.6, 1.7, and then we'll do 1 point whatever. It's not 1.6 and then 6 point to 13. It's 1.6, 1 to 13. Okay? Because it's all chapter 1 or unit 1. And then unit 2 is split up twice. Unit 3 is split up twice. And yes, there could easily be some stuff from unit 1 on the unit 3. Yes, there could be some stuff from unit 2 to unit 1. Not that way, right? So 3 major units. 3 major units. This one's trig. This one's trig. We get to that one after Christmas. Polynomials and whatever, all else. We'll kind of talk about it all together. Okay, so that's the 3 major units. Hit me.
You have to ask you about
Oh, that was, dang it. That's what I meant on there. So you guys are, most of us are older now. We're AP students. If you got to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. Get up. Sign your little paper over there. Make you sign out. There's a clock right there. You got to know how to read a clock. Sorry. The date, you should come close to knowing what it is. I don't know. I'm not worried about just hope the person in front of you knew what the date was. If you're the first one, it's the day after the one in previous. And then take that lanyard. They're going to be, they told us they're going to be pretty much, our new principal, right? We got a new principal this year. He's a stickler for being where you're supposed to be at all times. And so if you're in the hallway, of course, every student has an ID, but they want to know why you're in the hallway. And then 0A is a little different because we probably have some wonders, but just take that pass with you. Food or drinks, if you got food or drinks, all I ask you is to be respectful. Just be respectful. I don't expect a full course meal, but if you come in with your coffee or something to drink, that's fine. I love them for sure to be covered, so if it spills, we don't make a mess. Snacks, or again, 0 hour, it's fine. I'll try to let you go a little bit early if you want to go catch breakfast. I don't say I try to let you go early. If we're done with everything, we sometimes slide out a little early, being 0 hour. If you bring snacks, and it's something I might like and you don't share, we'll have issues. If you bring snacks that look like little squares that are yellow and have salt crystals on top of them, and they don't look like a freaking goldfish, and you don't share, we're going to have issues. Let's go back to this. What else did I miss? Oh, let's go back to this. Okay. I'm not going to post it. All this, I got lazy. And I got ready to update it all for the new stuff that I put, and I just decided not to. Oh, calculator. So you can check a calculator out through the library. Okay, if you don't have a graphing calculator. If you don't have one, you can check one out in the library. If you have one, great. Good. I hope it's one that works and you get comfortable with it. But if you don't have one, you can check one out in the library. If you don't have one and you think you're going to need it in college and all that other stuff, probably go ahead and purchase one. If you want to purchase one, let me know. I got better ideas than the Texas Instruments. Sorry. I love Texas Instruments, but not to do math. How many thinks that know that they're going to have to check one out? I'm just trying to get an idea for number-wise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm just trying to get an idea. We're going to set aside time Friday, so we'll go a little early on Friday. And those of you that need one to check one out, we'll go down and check one out. Okay, that will be yours for the entire year. Don't lose it. You get charged for it, all that other stuff. But I'm just trying to get an idea of how many is going to need one. Be on time, no electronics, bathroom, one at a time. Don't take your phone. That goes without saying. I shouldn't see your phone. It should be in your car or the bottom of your bag. It should be off. Try not to get up during the lesson. However, again, I know if you got to go, you got to go. I'm pretty lenient on tardies unless if you start abusing it. If you're late, then I'm going to finally say, all right, that's your first one. Okay. It says no eating or drinking. That was old. Cell phones, that's consequences. Most time I'll tell you, second offense, I got to do a detention or call your mommy. And third offense, you're going to the dean. I don't have issues with that. Class expectations, we've talked about that. There's the bathroom, eating and drinking, grading procedure. Any questions about grading? Y'all okay with that stuff? Homeworks, pretty much. There's going to be some assignments that are not going to be graded. I will give you some extra worksheets for those of you that might want extra help. But I will let you know this is not graded. This is not for a grade. And please don't say, well, what are you giving it to me for then? Because that tells me something about you as your character. Yeah. There's EOL, there's practice. No assignment's going to go in as practice. I just don't put them in. I mean, if I'm going to give it to you and it's practice, to me, that's almost busy work. So busy work to me means I got to do this to get my grade, but I don't need to do it. However, well, I'm glad he gave me this. I need to do more practice. Okay? We're not all built the same. Learning habits, additional grading, I did all that. Google Classroom, join Google Classroom. We'll do some Delta Math, except we'll spell it correctly. We'll use AP Classroom. I don't do Remind anymore. You should have gotten an email from me last night with a code to get in Google Classroom and a code to get on AP Classroom. You should have got one. Who was my late one that just checked in? Did you get it too, or did you look? Okay. It came from TAC, so it did not come from my Google account, so sometimes links mess up a little bit, but you should have gotten those two last night. If you didn't, let me know. All right, it's 8:26. We're doing good. Go ahead, if you have your Chromebooks with you, go ahead and get those things out and see if you can get on Google Classroom. As well as AP Classroom. That's my Google. Holy cow, they're giving us huge numbers now. Used to it was down to 4 or 5. That's my Google Classroom. Okay, that's my Google Classroom. Again, you should have gotten an email with that link and that. Everything I do in Classroom, guys, will be on Google Classroom. And if there's something you need that I didn't, please let me know. Okay? Right after this hour, I teach an AP Stats class, and then I have my prep. And so during that prep is when I should post videos. I should post anything that I haven't posted or any updates, all that kind of stuff. I really haven't decided what I'm going to do on your homework. I want you to scan them and turn them in on Google Classroom. That way I have it with me at all times and I don't have to worry about worksheets and that kind of stuff. If I go home, I can grade it. That's probably what I'm going to do. But we'll talk more about that as we go. And there'll be some leeway on all that stuff as we go through the learning process of how I expect things, right? Don't worry about your grades here at the beginning and all that kind of stuff. And then AP Classroom, right? You already have an AP Classroom sign-in. I know you do. If you don't think you do, you do. ACT, PSAT, somewhere in the world, I'm going to guess you got a College Board account. Okay, if you don't think you do, I'm still thinking you do. Most every student has a College Board account. Don't make another one. It will mess you up. It will mess up bad when you try to go to college and you got 2 different accounts and you're trying to send stuff to colleges. It messes them up, it messes you up. So make sure you have a College Board account. Sign in. I don't know where I put that at. I sent you the code for it. Woo! These are your notes for all year. Rather than me hand them out day by day by day, these are your notes the entire year. This is going to be your lifeblood, okay? Not me, but somebody put some type of cute little mathematical, and you can color that in if you want to or do whatever. That wasn't me. Whoopee! Hope I got enough. I didn't count correctly. You bet. I missed one of y'all. Which one of them? Everybody get one? Uh-oh. Huh. So you guys can see, just to kind of glance at it really quickly, right? Notes. You'll see some blanks. You'll expect to write some stuff in there. I will go along with these right on the board also. I'll go along with them, write in, fill in. I'll talk something about it. You may have to write something extra. It's for you. I don't grade it. You don't ever turn it in for a grade, or I don't care if you take a single note. That's on you. It's on you, okay? At some point, you'll see a red line, a red page. That starts chapter or unit 2. That starts unit 2. So your red papers will start unit 1, unit 2, and unit 3. Okay? You can see how many sections are in there already. If you want to work ahead, like I said, it's a third year. I bet you can look up section 1.9 and find something somewhere if you want to work ahead. If that kind of makes sense what I'm saying. If you want to look at it and say, hey, what are we going to do tomorrow? Look at the calendar. Oh, man, tomorrow we're doing 1.4. I wonder what 1.4 is. I bet you can find it. Okay? I bet you can find it. Also on AP Classroom, they'll talk about what each topic is. 1.1, 1.2, so on and so forth. Okay? Again, that will be your lifeblood. You will refer back to that more than anything else in the world. Okay? Worksheets I will hand you. That I will also post worksheets online. So if you're absent, right, and worksheet 1.4 is due, it's going to be online also. Okay, it's going to be online also. And I'll always make it somewhat like feasible. Like if it's a really long worksheet, I might make it due in a couple of days. Okay, but AP Classroom should have due dates on it. It should have a due date on it. And so if that's the due date, that's when I expect it to be done. Okay? You'll come into class every day, ask questions, whatever we might need to do to tidy up the previous lessons, and then we'll start over, and we'll start with the next one. We'll start with the next one. It goes pretty fast, guys. We go fast, and I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing. I have never been accused of going slow. I probably go faster than any other teacher. I like to get stuff done, but I don't like to waste your time. I wasted a lot of your time today. We're breaking in stuff. But I don't want to go so fast that I'm lost everybody. So that's where you guys have to come in and say, whoop, I don't get that. Go back and do that again. Okay. I go pretty fast. I have several faults, but that is a fault of mine. I go too fast sometimes. So you guys have to keep me in control of that. Also, I need somebody to make sure that I hit record every day because I don't get a second chance. Right? And stats, if I forget to record like I did all day yesterday, I can hit one today. I got 2 today. You guys, you're it. If I don't record you guys, we're in trouble because none of the other teachers record. They use my recordings. I don't know why. I guess I'm just that good. Got to be somewhat cocky. Be wrong, you can lie, but okay. I hate the first day because I got to do all that stuff. We'll learn process throughout the year. Snacks we're good with, food we're good with, bathrooms are good. Again, if you got to go to the bathroom, you don't ask. Just get up and go. As long as if you see the pass up there, like somebody's not there, don't shut the door when you leave. If you shut the door, then it's locked, and I have to go over and unlock it. I don't want to interrupt. I get ADD. If somebody messes with me, I forget where I'm going.